Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie. In the last episode, we unlocked World 2, Treasure Trove Cove. And in this episode, we are going to enter World 2. We jump into the giant treasure chest and we are off. And looks like we have ended up on a tropical island level. Ahoy there! This be Treasure Trove Cove. There be 2 new moves for ye to find. So apparently Bottles is getting in the mood as well, and he is taking on little bit of a tropical accent. And up here on this tree we will find red feathers. Red feathers, as they are explaining on the screen right now, are going to help Kazooie fly, and we'll kind of talk a little bit more about that once we learn Kazooie's fly move, which we actually learn in this level. And as you can see, we have a shark chasing and biting our booty. So if you actually end up or jump into the water for an extended period of time, this shark is actually going to bite the heck out of you. So yes, you do not want to end up in the water. If you do, you want to make sure you get the heck out of there as quickly as possible, because that thing hurts and he can actually corner you and make things a living hell. For now, we're going to go ahead and kill these crabs, because this is going to be our main enemy in this level, and we have a few other new enemies in here as well. But first, we're going to actually head over this way, and as you can see, we have a giant crab with some big claws here. Hey, this Nipper's beach. You find nothing without Nipper's help. Help us then, crustacean brain. Grr, cheeky bird. Need feathers clipping. Oh yeah, just try it, shellhead. So yes, we have our next mini boss. This is Nipper. Nipper is the little, I guess, crab looking creature, or I guess, I don't know, or I guess he's like a crustacean in the shell or whatever. But basically what to do is you want to use Kazooie's little beak attack when you're in midair, hit its eyes a couple times, and then it'll allow you to go into its shell. In the shell, we'll find some more notes, nice little trail of notes leading into the main area. We have some eggs here, because of course, what would be a crustacean without its eggs inside of its shell? And we have some enemies in here, but if we travel a little further, I see there's light beaming down through the shell and those little cracks. We have a Jiggy. So this is the first Jiggy of the level. Go ahead and grab this, and that'll give us the first Jiggy. So this little area is nice, kind of being inside the shell. If you actually look up, you can see the little cracks in the shell, and there's light beaming down. This game was originally released on the Nintendo 64 back in the late 90s, but for this type of graphics and this type of aesthetic, it looks very nice for as early as the game was released. So now we're going to go ahead and head out of the shell and into the direction of our next Jiggy. So as you know, there's of course 10 Jiggies in every level, this level included. But first we actually want to come over here, and as you can see, there's an empty honeycomb just chilling down here in the water. So as you know, the shark's going to be right up on our booty, and it looks like he's trying to get some dessert, and I don't think that we want to be his dessert. But this is an area where you can actually get stuck. I've gotten stuck down there a couple of times. He can actually trap you in there and kind of make your life a living hell, and take a bit of honeycombs out of your life meter. So you definitely want to make sure you make your way out of there fast. That guy was not fast enough. He bit us once, but we're not gonna allow it anymore. But now we move right on, and we have a giant ship right here in the middle of the island. We'll go ahead and check this out, and of course more collectibles, because that's always nice. One of the reasons I love this game is because there's always a ton of collectibles to find. You want to make sure you check all the trees, because I think there's a lot of notes on the trees in this particular world. You want to make sure you leave no tree untouched. We'll actually travel up here to the top of the ship, and we have one of Bottle's molehills, and it looks like there is a pad with a feather symbol on it. So we'll see what this is. This is your big chance, chicken legs. It's time for you to fly. All right, so at last, it better be easy, bog eyes. Man, Zooey, simple enough even for you, bird brain. Just stand on a flying disc and press A. Here's 25 red feathers to help you into the air. All right, so Bottles is going to start us off with 25. You can hold a maximum of 50 red feathers at the beginning of the game. And as Bottles is instructing us, we can actually use the feathers to fly higher. So that's the whole, kind of the whole mechanic of the flying ability. I actually kind of like the way it functions in this game. And actually, as you can see, there's actually a treasure chest up here with some teeth. You want to jump inside of it to get another Jiggy. But the flying mechanic of this game, I think it's probably one of my favorite flying mechanics of any game. The reason for it I see Grunty's not happy that we found a Jiggy in her little treasure chest that she hid. But the reason I like this flying mechanic is one of the best in any, not only 3D platformers, but any video game I've ever played, because the feathers that you need to collect to basically be able to fly, they do not run out until you basically ascend into the air. So every time you want to fly higher, it uses feathers. However, if you keep a nice little steady motion, Jinjo up here at the top of the ship, you will actually not run out of feathers. So you only run out of feathers every time you try to fly higher. Ahoy there, I'm Captain Blubber and I lost me treasure. We'll go find it then, Blubber Guts. But I can't swim. Can you help an old sea hippo? Man, a sea hippo that can't swim? What is this? Alright, so as you can see, Blubber is a blubbering mess. Kind of not fitting name for this guy. What we want to do is actually crack open this area on top of the ship, come down here, and we will find Blubber's treasure. As you can see, there's one right here in the area that we're in. It looks like there's a fence kind of dividing the other part of the ship, but actually has the other treasure that Blubber is looking for. So he's got 2 stacks of gold treasure. That must be nice to have. I mean, the dude's literally, like, his biggest problem in life is that he's lost, like, these big stacks of gold. Like, I mean, that must be a nice problem to have. I mean, I understand why the guy is a mess now. Like, it makes perfect sense. Like, he was rich, he's not rich, even though they're literally located right below his feet. I don't know why he couldn't just do it himself. Again, he's a sea hippo or a bear. I mean, think about that. I mean, the guy is, like, complaining that he can't swim. He's a sea hippo, for crying out loud. We're a bear with a kind of annoying, insulting bird in our backpack, but somehow we have a much better ability to swim than the sea hippo. I'm not quite following that form of logic, but if we go down here, we find the other stack of gold, or the treasure that Blubber is missing. So we want to make sure that we grab that, because we're going to turn in both of these treasures back to Blubber. There's nothing else in here for us, so we'll go ahead and swim out of the ship and back out to the mainland. And of course, we need to return Blubber's treasure for another Jiggy. So as you can see, the Jiggies in this level are also pretty simple for the most part. It does get quite more difficult the more you get into, like, further into the different worlds. But for now, we're kind of doing some more simple tasks. But now he is happy. Me treasure, thank ye, me hearties, take this reward. I'm off to spend. Spend. So this guy has a spending problem, it sounds like. So we'll allow him to take his gold and get the heck out of here, and we'll take our gold reward, because that's what we need to face off with Gruntilda. And if you're actually climbing up here, you'll get a Mumbo token, so you want to make sure you don't miss that. Again, Mumbo tokens are kind of spread out throughout all the different worlds and various locations, so the placements of them can be kind of tricky if you don't kind of, you know, explore every inch of every single area. But for now, we're going to go ahead and climb up these boxes, because it looks like we have another Bottles molehill right here. So another new move to learn, and that guy didn't get us, so that's kind of cool. What do you have for us this time, Bottles? You'll reach new heights with my shock jump ring. Does Kazooie do it? My legs are tired. Man, Banjo's already tired. We've only got 3 Jiggies in the level. We just got started, Banjo. We have a long ways to go. But yeah, so it sounds like Kazooie's doing all the work. So basically, when we see a jump disc such as this, we're going to allow, this is basically going to allow Kazooie to do a spring jump. So simply what you want to do is just stand on the, well, you can actually stand on the pad, but you can, once you hit A the first time, you can actually spring off of it and still, you're still able to actually do the spring jump. So one nice trick that you can do is, and I think we're actually going to be using this tactic kind of later on for another Jiggy much later on. But you can actually use spring jump to spring a lot further to different areas, and of course it gives you a lot more height in your jumps. Probably the most height in your jumps you're going to have as just Banjo and Kazooie. So something that's nice, and it'll allow us to reach a lot more collectibles as well. Not only in this world, but many worlds coming up later on. So it's probably one of the most beneficial moves, other than the talent trot move that you learn in the first world. But if you go up here, you will find your next Jiggy. So we already have 4 down. We're about halfway done. We're making nice work of this place already. So we'll go ahead and fly down here. and move right along. So yes, the spring jump is very nice, very beneficial. Again, it's probably one of the best moves you'll learn in the game. Coming over here, avoiding near death with the shark, we'll find the second extra honeycomb. That is all the empty honeycombs already collected, so we already have a portion of the level done. Coffee and mints, I'll be right over. And this shark is nuts, man. Like, he is on I guess he's on a mission to find the most tasty snack, and I guess bear and bird is something that I guess resembles mints and coffee and mints to him. This guy is a sicko, man. He needs to stay way, way far away from us. But actually there's a mumbo token hidden behind that little area there. Of course, like I said, if you don't explore every inch of this place, you're gonna miss things like that. So you want to make sure that you do not do that. We have some more scary looking treasure chests with teeth. You want to make sure you don't touch the teeth. Of course, they will cause damage. So you want to make sure you're careful when you're maneuvering your jumps in and out of these chests. As you can see, I didn't do it there. They only take 1 hit point. There are enemies later on in the game where they actually take more than 1 hit point. So it's something you want to make sure you're doing is making sure you're navigating correctly. That way you're not taking too many hits. But now we're going to climb and kind of scale this little area here. And didn't really mean to fall there, but the shark looks like he is ready for his dessert again. So we're going to try to avoid him. Go ahead and grab this extra life. Don't really need it, but we might as well grab it since it's there. But we're going to go ahead and head over to the next area where we'll find another Jiggy. But yeah, I have to say, kind of going back into, I guess, the level design of this world, I love this world. This is one of my favorite worlds of the game. Not only is the music great, which I believe the music in I think every level in this game is awesome. This game has an amazing soundtrack. This is probably personally one of my favorite levels of all time. So what we're going to do is actually ground pound on this X, and we're now going to be following a series of clues that will lead us to our next treasure. So as you can see, the X turned into an arrow pointing into the direction that we need to fly over to. And if you can see way out there in the distance, there's another X on that big platform over there. So that's actually where we want to head over to. There's actually an orange Jinjo. Nice. So I wanted to grab on the way. We'll hover over this X and do the same thing. Ground pound there. We have another arrow letting us know where we're going next. So a nice little treasure hunt, scavenger hunt mission. I love that they kind of included this type of mission in the game. It's nice to kind of it gives you a chance to explore more of the level since it's a new level for us here, while also being able to utilize Kazooie's new flying ability and the flying mechanic. And again, I love it because you only run out of feathers when you have to ascend in the air. As you can see, like I said, we're as just normal flight. When Kazooie's in normal flight, you do not use any feathers unless you ascend more, which you don't really need to most of the time. There's only a few missions in the game later on I can think of where the Jiggies that you need to collect are basically require you to ascend a few times, but for the most part, it's kind of nice to be able to fly freely and roam around without using many feathers. As you can see, we hit that X and it turns into a question mark. So now we have to do a little bit more in-depth scavenging for the treasures. So what you want to do is actually jump right down here where this little plot of sand is, right here in the water. And as you can see, there's a crab here, but another giant X. So we want to go ahead and ground pound on this, and that will reveal the treasure checks. What we're going to do is use Kazooie's beak attack there, bust it open for the next Jiggy. And we already have 5, so that's halfway through this level. Yeah, but this game, like I said before, there's always so many areas to explore. Personally, the aesthetic and the landscapes are again one of my favorite parts of the game. You get to travel through a lot of different environments in the game, and this one being kind of like a treasure island type of feel. I don't know, it just has a really nice vibe to it. Like, it feels very nice. And the fact that they have great music added and awesome characters, like even Blubber. I mean, the guy's like a sea hippo who's crying over some gold, but the dude has so much personality and uniqueness, really more than most characters in any game I've ever seen. And this is one of the reasons why I love this game so much. But enough of me kind of obsessing over this game. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can make it into this treasure chest, and we just have some eggs here. We don't really need to use a lot of eggs right now. We will have to here in a little bit. but we want to continue to scale up this area because we actually haven't explored this side yet. Yeah, one thing to point out as well is notes are eventually going to be kind of scattered. Once you kind of make your way throughout the different levels, they are going to be a lot more scattered around the worlds. Mumbo's Mountain was like really the only instance where they're kind of all kind of grouped together for the most part. This level kind of is the first instance where they're kind of more spread out throughout the world, which I kind of like because again, it encourages you to explore and find more collectibles. As you can see, there's a Jiggy kind of hiding down there underneath this big well, I don't exactly remember what this guy's called, but if you get too close to him, he will basically detonate and he will explode, and it would not be good. What we're going to do is quietly and slowly maneuver down here to collect the Jiggy underwater, and then we want to slowly and surely make our way back up without upsetting the guy, because we do not want to be a big exploding mess when he explodes. That would definitely not be good. I'm not sure what that means, but either way, I'm sure it doesn't end well. If you actually jump into this treasure chest, you'll find 2 Mumbo tokens. So that's kind of nice that they gave you 2. I think that's actually the only instance where they have 2 right in a row like that next to each other. I can't really think of any other levels that have Mumbo tokens laid out like that. But now, what we want to do, and there's actually another Mumbo token out there, and I am going to say I am going to make my best effort to grab every single Mumbo token I can. I honestly want to get all of them, and dude, you're not gonna get us. You're not gonna get us. Yeah, it's not happening. Just go back in there. Anyways, he came right, man, that didn't take him long. Like, he literally disappeared for like a second, man. Like, that was like, his instincts are like fire. That's crazy. But anyways, what I was saying was I want to grab as many Mumbo tokens as I can. I think really once we get to like the last maybe 2 worlds is when I'm not really gonna try as hard to look for them. But I am going to try to grab as many as I can, because grabbing every single Mumbo token is not required, but you do need to collect a whole lot of them. So you're going to have to collect several to, of course, access the different transformations from Mumbo, from his hut. And actually, one thing to point out is Mumbo does not actually appear in this level. And one thing I actually forgot to point out is he does not appear in actually a few other levels as well. So Mumbo's not in every single world. Therefore, you're not going to have any transformations in every single world. And this is the first world he does not appear in. He is going to appear again, of course. And he does show up a few more times in the game, but he is not in every single level. So that's something to point out as well. Which, again, gives you a more opportunity to find and collect more Mumbo tokens to save up for the next transformation. But now we have our final Jinjo of the level, and we got a Jiggy for that. And it looks like we've been awarded a gamer pick because I'm playing this on the Xbox Live Arcade version. So that's going to randomly pop up from time to time. Honestly, I'm not even sure why I got a gamer pick for that, because I found the last Jinjo. Like, so what, man? Like, that's not... Okay, I guess it is something to be proud of and to celebrate. I need to stop being so hard on myself. But anyways, we're at the top of this little area. This is a nice little area. I kind of like this. It's kind of quiet up here. And once we get to the top, you'll kind of see that we will be able to actually look at the level from a nice, a much nicer, broader view up here. I want to go ahead and scale up here, and as you can see, this is like a lighthouse area. Go behind it, you'll find another Grunty switch, and that will activate another secret Jiggy that we will collect back in Gruntilda's lair once we make our way back there. First, we're going to bust open this door and enter the lighthouse, and now we are at the top. As you can see, I guess it's not necessarily a lighthouse because there's no light. I guess lighthouse minus the light, I guess so. But there's a Jiggy on the very top of this. We'll go ahead and collect that, and we now only need 2 more. As you can see, we have a nice view of Treasure Trove Cove from up here. Of course, we have Nipper Shell down there. I just love the fact that they give you this like nice little... Some of these levels, they give you nice little aerial views of the entire world, so it's kind of nice to kind of see everything all in one, and it also gives you a kind of an idea of where you need to explore next. And I'm kind of repeating myself, but you know what, that's what this game's about. It's about exploration. It's about seeing, you know, doing some sightseeing, just admiring the aesthetics of the game and all the different environments. So I'm gonna do that, so just leave me alone. All right, anyways, I'm gonna stop being weird, and we're gonna actually continue onwards, because of course we only have 2 more Jiggies to find, and then we are about done here. So yeah, so not really too much left to tackle other than avoiding getting our butt chomped by this guy. Dude, you need to leave us alone, man. Like, you're a little too desperate. And I don't know when the last time you've had food or when you've seen, I guess, new people on Treasure Trove Cove, this island, but you really need to relax, because You're just doing too much, dude. Come on, relax. But anyways, but I love that shark mechanic. It's a nice little, I remember as a kid, like that gave me nightmares. Like seeing that dude pop up, like when you first enter the level is just, oh, had me shaking my boots. But anyways, down here we find a bucket and it looks like he's got a leak. So we need to patch it. And by doing that, we actually need to shoot out eggs out of Kazooie's rear, as crazy as that sounds. But that'll patch up Leaky, the bucket, and he will actually drain the water, allowing us to enter the sandcastle, which is where we're going to find another Jiggy. You want to make sure to actually land on top of it before you enter it, because you have to collect these. If you're going for 100% completion, you'll find some more notes up there on the top of it. But now, make sure there's nothing behind it. We're going to go ahead and enter the little sandcastle. And as you can see, we have a group of letters here, and we have a mean looking crab in there. And it looks like he's got a little bit of a puzzle for us. So a little bit of a hint to what the puzzle is. If you look at the walls, they spell out the name of the game, Banjo-Kazooie, all in one little phrase there. So that is actually your hint, letting you know what the puzzle that you need, or the letters you need to spell out for the puzzle are. So what you need to do is basically just that. You need to spell out the word Banjo-Kazooie. You're given 100 seconds to do this. That's way more than enough time to do this. So if this is an issue, I don't know what to tell you. It's really not that bad. But if you're moving without stopping, you're not gonna have any trouble with this. But once you spell out Banjo-Kazooie, that'll give us our next Jiggy. And also, this place will actually be used later on. I'll kind of get to that once we get further in the game. But now that we've spelled out Banjo-Kazooie, we get our prize. But it looks like he's gonna cut us down to size first. We're not gonna let that happen. This guy takes 2 hits. Once you ground pound him once, he'll flip over, ground pound him again, and he will be destroyed. We don't want to forget to collect the rest of our notes in the sides here. And we have now finished our note count, all 100 notes. Grab this Jiggy. And we have one more to find. So we are just about done here. All right, we'll go ahead and go back out here. Another thing I kind of like to do, and I guess I don't necessarily want to focus too heavily on it in this Let's Play, but I'm really trying to beat these worlds in as fast of a time as I possibly can. I don't normally try to play the game like that, but since I played this game multiple times and I have quite a familiarity to the levels, and I actually just replayed this game not too long before recording this Let's Play, so I kind of have a good idea of where all the Jiggies are, just based on muscle memory. So I'm going to, again, not focus too heavily on it, but if I can, try to get these levels done in the shortest amount of time possible, just because it's kind of like I guess a personal challenge for me. I want to kind of see if I can kind of basically beat my best times for these levels. Again, it's not really like, I'm not going to make a huge deal in this Let's Play, but if that, if it is the case where it's something I can accomplish, I'm definitely going to do so. But the last Jiggy is actually going to be found over here on this side of the area, or of the world. You just want to use Kazooie's fly ability, and it's actually hiding underneath this little cove. We'll go ahead and grab this, and that'll end our adventure at Treasure Trove Cove. So it came and it went. But yeah, definitely one of my favorite worlds of the game. Not only are the just the landscape of it, I mean, it basically feels like you're just like on Treasure Island, where you're just scavenging a giant tropical island for treasure. And what better idea for a world than that, when in a game where you're literally collecting, treasure. You're collecting golden jigsaw pieces, so it fits very well. I love the idea of the shark in the water, and the fact that you pretty much need Kazooie's flying ability to maneuver most of the area, but you can still do a lot on foot. All right, so now that we are done here, we're going to go ahead and exit through the entrance pad, and we go back into Gruntilda's lair. And if you remember from earlier, we did stomp the Grunty switch, revealing the next secret Jiggy located in Gruntilda's lair. So we are now going to jump onto this little cannonball thingamabobber. That'll get us up to this ledge, avoid the goon there. Grunty's goons, or whatever the heck these guys' names are called. Get him out of our way, and we jump up here. And this is where we find the next Jiggy of the hub world, right here. All right, so we're making quite quite a lot of progress. We have 7 more Jiggies to find in the main hub area, and of course we have several more spread out throughout the other worlds. But now we are actually going to go ahead and unlock the next world of the game. And this is probably one of my favorite parts of the game as well, just the fact that not only do you have several levels, like main worlds to explore, but you're actually able to explore a lot of the main the hub area, Gruntilda's Lair. And unlocking the levels is so fun to do. It feels very rewarding, especially knowing that you've collected enough Jiggies to do that. But if you actually use the spring jump up here, Grunty's kind of talking about some nasty stuff. I don't really want to say that out loud. We have another puzzle, and this will unlock the next world of the game. The Bottles is actually giving us another tip. So basically we can actually unlock all of the puzzle or all of the picture all at once by doing that. That allows us to speed up the puzzle process a little bit quicker, but we've now unlocked Clanker's Cavern. Clanker's Cavern is the next world of the game, so that is what we're going to be tackling next. We'll go ahead and head up there before ending things off. All right, but yeah, like I was saying, just exploring Gruntilda's Lair, trying to find out where all the different worlds are after you unlock them, because not only do you have to find the puzzle piece picture for all the different worlds, but then you have to actually go and find the actual entrance, because they gave you a little idea about where it is located. As you can see, it's right across there. We don't really have those platforms, or kind of down in the water. We don't really have any way of getting over there right now. We actually jump over here, ground pound on this switch. That'll raise the platforms up, allowing us to navigate over to Clanker's Cavern. But yeah, I love being able to find the different levels, even though they kind of give you just kind of a quick snapshot of where they're located. You still have to do a lot of exploring around, which I love. We have another switch there. We'll go ahead and hit that, and that'll raise the little pipes over there. And that'll allow us to access another part of the hub world that we're not going to get into right now, because we have another level to explore, but that'll be saved for the next episode. So thank you all for watching, but next time we're going to go ahead and tackle World 3, Clanker's Cavern. So until then, I will see you all later.